Hi everybody, Doug Dahman coming to you from the Fiery Trial exhibit here at the Civil War Museum in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Wanted to highlight one of the artifacts that we have on display for you today and talk about its significance and also ways that you might be able to use this for a project at home, either for a student or for something that you would want to do with grandkids or something that you're doing in your own home study of the Civil War, and ways in which we use flags like this for students that come to visit the museum. So what we have is, this is the flag of Company E of the 26th Illinois Infantry. Now, Company E was raised out of the LaSalle, Peru area in Illinois, just down the Illinois River, southwest of Chicago. This flag was actually presented to Company E late in 1863, early in 1864. It was a replacement for an earlier company flag that the citizens of LaSalle, Peru had issued to the men. Now, the men were home on furlough, the veterans were getting ready to go back to the front near Chattanooga, and the citizens made this flag and presented it to them. They took it with them when they left Illinois and made their way back down to Chattanooga, and it was with Company E for the remainder of their service during the Civil War. Because it was company property, they were allowed to bring it home with them after the war ended. And one of the things they did, which is such a great visual record for us today, is when they returned home, they put all of the battles in which the company and the regiment fought in on the flag itself. So if you look at how they laid out the battles, it's not only a great visual representation of the Civil War and the Western theater of the war, but it's also an interesting geography lesson. So let's take a look and see where they started out. We can see in 1862, the first listing here is New Madrid, Missouri, and the men progressed down through Missouri into Mississippi to Corinth, May of 1862. From there, they jumped over here to Vicksburg, Jackson. They were in the Vicksburg campaign. And then from there, they ended up in Ringgold, Georgia, in northwest Georgia in 1863. All of the battles involved in the Atlanta campaign in spring, summer of 1864, all the way to the fall of Atlanta. The battles they listed here are July 22nd, 21st, and 28th, 1864. After the Battle of Atlanta, the 26th participated in the March to the Sea all the way to Savannah to Georgia, up through South Carolina, to Columbia, to Bentonville, with their final stop being the Grand Review in Washington, D.C. Now, if you had to drive that many miles today, it would be a long, tiring event. But these men marched, took trains, took boats for their entire journey over across this Western theater of the Civil War. And they recorded down at the bottom, if you can read this, but it says, traveled since leaving home 5,150 miles over 16 states in the Union. Now, the flag was brought back to Illinois, and it was placed in the care of Sergeant Daniel Carmody. We have images of Daniel, post-war images of him after the Civil War. It has been passed down through his family members, and the family lent the flag to the Civil War Museum, and we're proud to mount it and place it on exhibit here today. So it's one of the great artifacts of the Upper Midwest, of the Western theater, showing just how far these soldiers would have gone to fight in these battles. Certainly there are no battlefields, not too many of them, large battlefields in the Upper Midwest, but you can just see how far these men would have traveled to go and to fight, and just how far they went during their service. Now, fun things to do with students when they come here. One of the things we often have them do is create their own company flag. So there's a link on the bottom of this video where you can use crayons, markers, etc. to have students, have your kids design and make their own company flag. What we do when our students come here to the museum is we have this large felt board, and we've cut out a number of different shapes. We encourage them to get creative, take shapes on their own, and work as teams to design their own company flag. Whoop. So when they do that, what we often do is have the students then gather around it, kind of take a company or regimental picture around their flag. So just a couple of small activities that you can do at home to link your students up to their study of American history. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Thank you.